Hello, my friends. Welcome back. I am very happy you are here today. Today, we will listen to a true story. A story about music, dreams, hard work, bright lights, and a boy with a very big gift. This boy was small, but his voice was strong. He grew up in a crowded house. He sang with his brothers. He practiced every day. And one day, the whole world knew his name. His name was Michael Jackson. Some people called him the King of Pop. But before the fame, before the big stages, before the Moonwalk, Michael was just a child from a simple family in America. He had a dream, and he had a song in his heart. Michael Jackson was born on August the 29th, 1958, in Gary, Indiana, a city near Chicago. His family was big, very big. He had many brothers and sisters. Their small house was full of voices, full of movement, full of noise, and full of music. Michael's father was named Joseph. His mother was named Catherine. Catherine loved music. She sang at home. She played music for her children. She had a soft heart, and she gave her children love and faith. Joseph also loved music. He had once played guitar in a small band. He knew that music could change a life. He saw talent in his children, and he wanted them to be great. The Jackson children practiced in the living room. They sang. They danced. They copied songs from the radio. They tried again and again. Sometimes they were tired. Sometimes they wanted to play outside. But the music did not stop. Michael was the seventh child in the family. At first, he only watched his older brothers sing. He was very young, very quiet, and very small. But when he opened his mouth and sang, everyone stopped. His voice was clear, sweet, and full of feeling. It was not the voice of a normal little boy. It sounded like a heart speaking directly to another heart. Soon, Michael joined his brothers in the family group. The group was called the Jackson 5. There was Jackie, Tito, Jermaine, Marlon, and Michael. 5 brothers, 5 voices, 1 dream. They began to perform in local talent shows. They wore matching clothes. They moved together. They smiled together. They sang with power. But when Michael stepped forward, the room changed. He was only a child, but he sang like he understood joy, sadness, hope, and love. People clapped loudly. People shouted his name. People could not believe what they were hearing. The Jackson 5 worked very hard. They traveled from place to place. They performed in small clubs, school halls, and local theaters. Sometimes they played in front of a few people. Sometimes they played in front of many people. But every time, Michael gave all his energy. He watched famous singers on television. He studied James Brown. He studied Jackie Wilson. He studied the dancers, the singers, the stars. He wanted to learn everything. Michael did not just sing a song. He lived inside the song. His feet moved fast. His shoulders moved with rhythm. His face told the story. Even when he was young, he understood the stage. Then, one day, a very important door opened. The Jackson 5 went to Motown Records. Motown was one of the most famous music companies in America. Many great black artists recorded music there. The sound of Motown was exciting, warm, and full of life. The people at Motown listened to the Jackson 5. They saw the brothers dance. They heard Michael's voice, and they knew this group was special. In 1969, the Jackson 5 released their first big song. It was called I Want You Back. The song was happy, fast, and full of energy. Michael sang the lead part. His voice jumped over the music like a bright bird in the sky. The song became a #1 hit. Imagine that moment. A boy from a small house in Gary, Indiana, was now singing on radios across America. People heard his voice in cars, in kitchens, in shops, and in bedrooms. Children danced to the song. Parents smiled. Everyone wanted to know about this amazing young singer. And the success did not stop. After I Want You Back came more big songs. A BC, The Love You Save, I'll Be There, again and again. The Jackson 5 went to #1. Michael was still a child, but he was already famous. He traveled on planes. He stayed in hotels. He appeared on television. He met fans everywhere. People screamed when they saw him. But fame is not always easy. Michael worked while other children played. He rehearsed while other children rested. He lived in the public eye. Many people loved him, but many people also watched him all the time. Years passed. Michael grew taller. His voice changed. His face changed. His dreams changed too. He loved his brothers, but he wanted to become his own artist. He wanted to create his own sound, his own dance, his own world. In 1979, Michael released an album called Off the Wall. This album was a big step for him. It had disco, soul, pop, and dance music. It was bright, smooth, and full of joy. People heard songs like Don't Stop Till You Get Enough and Rock With You, and they danced. Michael was no longer only the little boy from the Jackson 5. He was becoming a grown artist, a star with his own voice. But Michael wanted more, not only more fame, but more art. He wanted to make music that felt new. He wanted songs that people would remember forever. He wanted videos that looked like short films. He wanted every detail to be perfect. He worked with the great music producer Quincy Jones. Together, they began to create something huge, something powerful, something the world had never seen before. In 1982, Michael released Thriller, and everything changed. Thriller was not just an album. It was an event. It was a storm of music. It had pop, rock, funk, soul, and mystery. It had songs that felt alive from the first second. Billie Jean had a deep bass line. When people heard it, they stopped and listened. Beat It had a strong rock guitar. It brought different music worlds together. Thriller had a spooky sound, but also a fun and exciting feeling. The album became the best-selling album of all time. Michael was everywhere, on radio, on television, in magazines, in homes around the world. But one night made him a legend. In 1983, Michael performed Billie Jean on a television special called Motown 25. He wore a black jacket, a white glove, a black hat, and shiny socks. He stood on stage, calm and ready. The music began. Michael moved with smooth control. He spun, he stepped, he pointed. Then, for a few seconds, he moved backward, but it looked like he was walking forward. It was the Moonwalk. The audience shouted. People at home jumped from their seats. Many had never seen anything like it. It looked impossible. It looked like magic. But it was not magic. It was practice, practice, and more practice. After that night, children all over the world tried to do the Moonwalk. In living rooms, on school floors, on streets, everywhere. People slid backward and laughed. Everyone wanted to move like Michael. Michael did not stop there. He made music videos that changed music history. The video for Thriller was long, exciting, and dramatic. It was like a small movie with music and dance. The dance became famous everywhere. The video for Beat It showed dance as a way to bring people together. The video for Billie Jean used light and mystery. Everywhere Michael went, he brought imagination with him. He became a global star. In Japan, people loved him. In Brazil, people loved him. In Europe, Africa, Australia, and many other places. People knew his songs. Even people who did not speak English could sing his melodies. Michael's concerts were huge. Lights flashed, crowds screamed, dancers moved like one body, and Michael stood at the center, small in body, but powerful on stage. He could stand still for several seconds, and the crowd would go wild. He could make one small movement with his hand, and thousands of people would shout. He had something rare, a deep connection with the audience. But behind the bright lights, Michael's life was complicated. He was very famous, but often lonely. He had many people around him, but he did not always feel understood. He had missed a normal childhood, so he tried to create joy in his adult life. He loved games, animals, stories, and the feeling of wonder. He built a home called Neverland Ranch. It had rides, gardens, animals, and places to play. For Michael, it was a place where childhood could live again. He wanted it to feel magical. Many fans saw him as a dreamer, a gentle artist, and a person who wanted to bring joy. He also gave money to many charities. He visited hospitals. He supported children's causes. And he used his music to speak about care for the world. In 1985, Michael helped write We Are the World with Lionel Richie. Many famous singers joined the song. They recorded it to help people suffering from hunger in Africa. The song became a symbol of kindness and action. Michael believed music could do more than entertain. He believed music could help people feel together. He believed a song could open a heart. In 1987, Michael released Bad. The album had a stronger sound, a sharper style, and more confidence. Songs like Bad, The Way You Make Me Feel, Man in the Mirror, and Smooth Criminal became famous. Man in the Mirror had a powerful message. It said that change begins with yourself. It was simple, but deep. Many people still love that song today because it feels honest. Smooth Criminal showed Michael's love for style and movement. In the video and later on stage, he leaned forward in a way that seemed impossible. Again, people asked, how did he do that? Michael's answer was always the same in spirit, work, detail, and imagination. Then came the Dangerous album in 1991. Michael's sound changed again. It became more modern, more powerful, and more dramatic. Songs like Black or White, Remember the Time, and Heal the World reached millions of people. Black or White carried a message of unity. The video was seen around the world. It showed people from different places, different cultures, different faces, all moving together through music. Heal the World was soft and hopeful. It asked people to care for children, for peace, and for the planet. Michael often said he wanted the world to be better, kinder, and safer. But the 1990s also brought hard years. Michael faced serious public problems. Many people argued about him. Many stories appeared in newspapers and on television. Some were true, some were not clear, and some were painful for everyone involved. For an English learner story, we will not go into heavy details. What is important is this. Michael's life became more difficult. The world that loved him also judged him. The cameras followed him everywhere. Privacy became almost impossible. Still, his fans stayed with him. They waited outside hotels. They held signs. They cried when they saw him. For many people, Michael's music had been part of their childhood, part of their family, part of their own story. In 1995, Michael released History, an album with old hits and new songs. Some songs were full of pain, some were full of strength. He sang about being watched, being misunderstood, and trying to keep going. One of the most powerful songs from that time was Earth Song. It was about nature, animals, forests, and human pain. When Michael performed it, he sang with deep emotion. It was not just entertainment. It felt like a cry from the heart. As the years passed, Michael's health and public life became more fragile. He was still loved around the world, but he was not living an easy life. Fame had given him everything, and fame had also taken many things away. In 2009, Michael announced a new concert series in London. It was called This Is It. Fans were excited. Tickets sold very quickly. People believed they would see the King of Pop return to the stage. Michael rehearsed with dancers and musicians. He wanted the show to be excellent. He wanted the lights, the sounds, the steps, and the feeling to be perfect. Even after so many years, he still cared about every small detail. But on June the 25th, 2009, the world received shocking news. Michael Jackson had died in Los Angeles. He was 50 years old. People could not believe it. Around the world, fans gathered in streets, outside his home, outside theaters, and in public places. They sang his songs. They lit candles. They cried together. Radio stations played his music again and again. Television channels showed his performances. People remembered the little boy with the golden voice, the young man doing the moonwalk, the artist who changed music videos forever. Michael's story was not simple. It had light, and it had shadow. It had joy, and it had sadness. It had great success and great pressure. But one thing is clear. He changed music. He changed dance. And he changed popular culture. Before Michael, music videos were often simple. After Michael, they became big events. Before Michael, many artists stayed inside one music style. Michael mixed styles together: pop, soul, rock, dance, and rhythm. He opened doors for many artists who came after him. He showed that a performer could be a singer, a dancer, a storyteller, and a visual artist at the same time. And even today, many years after his death, people still dance to Billie Jean. They still copy the moonwalk. They still sing Heal the World. They still watch Thriller. They still feel the excitement. Maybe that is the real power of Michael Jackson's story. A small boy from Gary, Indiana, stood in a crowded house and sang with his brothers. He practiced until his feet hurt. He worked until his voice became strong. He dreamed bigger than the walls around him. Then his music traveled farther than he ever could, across oceans, across languages, across generations. His songs reached people he never met and made them dance, smile, think, and feel. Michael Jackson once seemed to move like he was not touching the ground, but his story reminds us of something very human. Talent is beautiful, but talent also needs work. Dreams are exciting, but dreams also need courage. Fame can shine brightly, but every person still needs kindness and peace. So when we remember Michael Jackson, we can remember the music, we can remember the dance, We can remember the bright glove, the black hat, the moonwalk, and the voice that began when he was only a child. And we can also remember this simple lesson. Use your gift. Work hard. Keep learning. Share beauty with the world. And when life feels difficult, keep one small song alive inside your heart. Thank you for listening today. I hope this story helped you learn English in a calm and exciting way. You are doing very well. Every story you hear helps your English grow, little by little, step by step. Please tell me in the comments what story you would like to hear next. If you enjoyed this story, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and come back for more real stories in simple English. Thank you, my friends, and keep learning with a happy heart.